Hello and welcome to the Next Normal Positive Friday. My name is David, and today we're talking about maintaining our happiness. Probably every single one of us finds that there are times when we lose our happiness, when we find that our happiness becomes challenged by some situation or feeling that we have. And that can be expected. But within each of us, there is the power to be more of a master of our happiness, especially if we do the internal maintenance that's necessary to maintain that. And that maintenance starts with attention. The first step to really maintaining our happiness is paying attention to it, paying attention to the things that cause us to trigger us to lose our happiness. And secondly, to set the intention to keep our happiness. So today we're going to talk about those two things. But let's first talk a little bit about why we should maintain our happiness. Don't we have a perfect right to lose our happiness if some tragic event happens, or if I lose something that's important to me, or if someone hurts me, or someone does something unkind to me, or I make a mistake that I feel I shouldn't have made. Certainly, we have a right to lose our happiness. But is that helping us? Does it help us to lose our happiness? And does it contribute to the world around us if we lose our happiness? And I would venture to say that it doesn't. When we lose our happiness, we actually are disempowering ourselves. We are disempowering the positive energy that gives us strength to address the challenges that we encounter in our lives. So if we could claim some tools to be able to maintain that happiness more readily, we actually will be better off. And importantly, too, the world around us will be better off if we can maintain our happiness. I'll tell you a personal story, and it's fairly recent, too. You may have heard about the new place that we have in the Meditation Museum has in Centerville, Virginia. We're calling it Om Shanti Village. And it's a place we call home, a wonderful place for the sisters and brothers who maintain the Meditation Museum to live, and also to host guests there. And it's a wonderful place. It's got lots of potential, but it's got lots of things that need to be done, lots of work that needs to be done. And so I've been going out there every weekend trying to help with that. And this past weekend, I found myself losing my happiness in those efforts. There were lots of plants that need to be taken care of, and I became very frustrated and very unhappy because the plants weren't being taken care of. They weren't being watered, and some of them had died. And the next day, we had the grass needed cutting, and we have 6 mowers there, two riding mowers and 4 push mowers. And only one of them was starting. And looking back on it, I saw what a funk I allowed myself to get into. especially because of those mowers not working. How frustrated I found that to be, and how I was really grumpy for much of the day, and how that affected um, those around me in a negative way. And looking back on that, it reminded me of how important it is to pay attention to maintaining my happiness. How that's a gift to not just to myself, but to those around me to make sure that I maintain my happiness. And thinking about why did that situation, what was it about that situation? And what was it that I had let go of that allowed me to be so influenced by that really minor incident? Well, number one, I wasn't paying attention. I really wasn't paying attention to how things were affecting me. And I wasn't paying attention to my intention to use what's beautiful within me, to use the quality of love, to use the quality of joy, of peace, of real wisdom, of innocence. When I let those qualities be the foundation of my thinking, I'm powerful. But when I let that negativity come in, that sadness, that anger, that frustration, that lack of compassion or caring for those, for myself and for those around me, I am actually disempowering myself. I have less power to meet the obstacles and challenges that come in front of me. You know, I was watching a video the other day. It was totally unrelated to, it wasn't really a spiritual video at all, but I saw in there this slogan hanging on somebody's wall. And I thought, how powerful a slogan that is. And it said something like this, that the waves of our feelings will come, but I can choose which one to surf. And I thought how beautifully that summed up the task of maintaining our happiness. You know, we've all been on a journey, and that journey has many experiences. And those experiences become part of our collective, you know, of our memory, and they make impressions on us. And we'll find that things, maybe if something happened in the past, we'll find that if something similar happens, it triggers some negative emotion or negative feeling. And like me and the lawnmowers, you know, that negative feeling, I can make a choice about what to do with it. It's not that that negative feeling is not going to come, it will. But I can choose what to do with it. And not to push it away, but number one, to observe it, to recognize that it's there, to accept that it's there, to accept that I'm feeling frustrated or disappointed that the mowers aren't working, and attached to the idea that I need to get this giant lawn mowed. And I can observe that that feeling is there. But I don't have to keep nurturing that feeling with my thoughts. I can choose to do something else with that feeling. I can choose to ride something else, not necessarily that feeling. And it starts by observing and accepting the feelings that I have. And then making a choice to feed the ones that are serving me. And the ones that serve me are the ones that connect me with those beautiful original qualities. Will I always be able to do that? Maybe not. But the more I pay attention to it, the more I set my intention to use those beautiful qualities within me, the more I will be able to meet those situations and not ride those waves of negative feelings. Instead, to choose a different wave. And sometimes you may need to do something very, very intentional to ride a different wave. Maybe it means taking a break from that. Maybe I needed to just take a break from mowing the lawn when I couldn't get the mower started. I did get one started, and we ended up mowing with Brother Santos' help. Much of that, we ended up mowing that very large lawn with just a push mower, a single push mower. So maybe I could, ride the wave of a different feeling. And maybe I could use my intention to actually create a different feeling. Perhaps if I observe that negativity coming, recognize that it's an opportunity for me to empower myself more. And use what's beautiful within me. I think the secret to all of this is the power of meditation. To me, this is the real benefit of meditation, is it teaches us to pay attention to our thinking. It teaches us to observe our thinking. And two, meditation allows us to connect with that powerful, beautiful part of ourselves and the source of that power. What is God if God is not the source of everything beautiful within you? If God is not the energy of love, what is God? And in meditation, I can be aware of that connection. In meditation, we are turning our attention inward and observing. And by doing that on a regular basis every day, we are empowering ourselves to pay attention to our inner world so that we can observe how we are influenced by our feelings. We can also observe our connection to that source of everything beautiful within us and nurture that connection through regular meditation. We can set our intention to use that beautiful part of ourselves in regular meditation. I find that when I take the time on a daily basis to sit in inner reflection, to observe, to remind myself of my connection to that wonderful source, I have more power. I have more power to ride the wave of the positive and choose not to ride the wave of the negative. So, a little lesson for me that I'm sharing with you from the past week. And I wish you all a happy holiday as we approach the Memorial Day weekend, and encourage you all to take some time for inner reflection, to empower your attention and intention and maintain your happiness more powerfully and more regularly. Okay? And we'll close with a little meditation from Sister Jenna. Have a beautiful day. Om Shanti.
Vibrations of love. And some say love is a verb. But much deeper than that, love is a vibration. It is that energy that stirs the soul and opens up the heart. Vibrations of love call out to the divine that connects us with the beauty of life and the oneness of it all. I need not to say it with words, although it is always nice to hear. But greater still is to feel it. Vibrations of love lift me higher, and I fill the empty spaces within the soul. It is the divine in its purest essence. It is me at the height of my being. I am vibrations of love.